Hello everyone. Today I would like to share with you an Promethium science sheet that I made, which while it is inspired by the work of others like Stupid Fat Hobbit, etc., it has some quirks of its own. The most obvious difference that you can spot is the asteroid defense I'm using. I'm using several asteroid collectors on their own with a few diagonal turrets, railgun turrets, in order to maximize the collection of Promethium asteroids here. These collectors they are only catching Promethium, by the way, so that they maximize the throughput. All the asteroids here, with a couple on the side, are made especially to collect Promethium asteroids, and I only have 3 collectors on the sides that collect other types of asteroids like metallic, carbonic, etc. They are more than enough due to the amount of asteroids that are being collected on the road to the southern planet. As you can see, I'm using a lot of beacons immediately. Here I chose not to throw away any excess asteroids. Instead, I'm throwing away all excess material made by overflowing belts. While I chose not to use any logic, it's more of a passive safety feature, if you will, because I find it more elegant, more simple. Maybe it's more UPS intensive due to the amount of materials produced, but just the simplicity of using dumping just the overflowing belts, I don't know. I really liked it, and it kept it like this. There is no logic otherwise involved in here, just some splitters with priority that when belts are overflowing, they dump the excess material immediately. Also, here I take a bit of advantage of the fact that inserters prefer to grab stuff from a particular direction of the belt. Here, the fact that they prefer on the top, to grab from the top, means that the asteroids that are being output from the machine are the ones first picked. Unfortunately, on the other side you have to mirror it, so it's not an exact copy, it's a bit of a mirror copy from the top instead of downwards, the other side. Now, as far as how many byte arrays it can carry, this particular ship is optimized for 200,000 byte arrays to carry, and this is also evident by the number of cargo bays. It has 201, just one more than it needs, but yes, 200 cargo bays are ideal if you want in just 2 phases to get your byte arrays. And I find that number the optimal number that you can put without making your ship extremely large just to fit a huge amount of cargo bays. That will also slow it down. It's it's the ideal balance point, I believe. Uh, so, apart from that, of course, since it picks 200,000 byte arrays, it produces about 600,000 with its run. The overall average of production, Promethium production, is about 14,500. It varies a bit between 14,000 and 50,000. 14,500 is a bit more accurate overall, and that is made without using any belt storage, as you can see, because I simply didn't like it at all. I find it ugly, an ugly solution, and I also am not using any type of thruster style. That is also another solution that I found very ugly. I didn't like it. I wanted to not use it if I could. Of course, they have their benefits. I don't deny them. Still though, my philosophy was to make a wide ship that collects a lot from the front, a lot of Promethium material, and for that to be wide is very important, in my opinion, and to have as few as possible railgun turrets that take the place from a possible extra asteroid collector. The number of asteroid collectors are about 80 that collect Promethium, and 21 that are shooting asteroids and railgun turrets. But they're frontal because they are a bit diagonal, some of them, is about 18. About that of 18 frontal railgun turrets. It's not 21, they're frontal space that they take. They are not taking the frontal space of the rail. You get about 18 railgun turrets on the front if you want. Now, apart from that, it's of course using just two legendary fusion reactors, which is enough. This is electric usage varies between 500 and 700-800 or so, and it's more than enough with 1 gigawatt power. Of course, I'm also using a few solar utility panels just to help it start, and I left them there since there is a lot of space. And what else I want to talk about? I'm also using this combinator here. Is useful in order to not get any batteries when you arrive in an orbit while you are unloading the Promethium science packs. It's I have picked specifically a very odd item to use as which is the blueprint, a common book you can easily make it. There is no way that it exists in as in, 55 seconds were left before the 200,000 eggs were finished, and the ship returns about when it reaches 90,000 eggs. As I was saying before, sorry for the interruption, before, I'm using a blueprint book uncommon that you can make just by throwing a couple of blueprint books in recycler with quality, and send it. I made one and send it to the platform. There's no way that any other uncommon book exists down in our list, and that is important in order not to get any biter eggs before you have unloaded your Promethium science first. Right now we are returning. As you can see, the ship weighs 3,775 tons. For how wide it is, I think it's relatively slim. Perhaps it could be slimmer. I'm not entirely sure. I pushed it to its limits, but okay, if anyone wants to try, be my guest. It's during the return, it's about 450 kilometers per second, which is pretty fast for its size, and without using any thruster stacking. It is pretty ugly, in my opinion, and hacky, you could say, in a way. Now, regarding the production here of materials, the production is more than enough for its needs. It consumes about 7,400 per minute of explosive rockets, but it produces, can produce times 4,000, about 9,200 per minute. By the way, this ship is tested with these researches: laser weapon 16, physical projectile damage 16, struggle explosive 16, asteroid productivity 14, railgun damage 10, and railgun shooting speed 10. Researched. Of course, you can. It does work even with lower, but it's severely tested in this level of research. I would like to add that level 16 of struggle explosives is a pretty important point because it lowers the amount of explosive rockets you need. So I highly recommend it. Why? Because it mainly, you can say, uses one line of explosive rocket turrets, apart from these points, and it is relatively weak, so to speak. So having needing less is a bit better for its performance. I'm using a different kinds of priority for targeting, both of huge asteroids and others, because I found out that if I use the same, it would occasionally get some damage. When I made the change of the priority, this was reduced up to eliminated. I can show you a bit here that at the time there was some damage back before I made these state changes, and the last 20 hours or so there was no apparent damage to be done, just from this change, from having different asteroid priority, both for the railgun turrets and the rocket turrets. They're not the same. Of course, most are targeting the Promethium because they are hardest to destroy. But by using a different priority altogether, it seems to work best. By the way, if anyone thinks that this is a great weakness, I can assure you that from all my testing, this distance between the railguns wasn't a weakness. What was the weakness were these protruding parts of the ship that were getting hit, and of course the corners. These were the weak points, and not this distance, no matter how crazy that may sound. These collectors never got any damage at all. It was a pretty safe distance. After a lot of testing that I made, I never had any issue at all with this distance. And I have the feeling, because there is a bit of covering between each other, the left and the right. Maybe there is room even for a greater distance here, and not just 30 asteroid collectors in line. I was just bored after many hours of testing, and I thought it felt at least good enough for what I needed, this width. And I was just didn't want to spend any more time for it, but if anyone is interested, I think that even greater distances using diagonal railgun turrets can be utilized without an issue for anyone that wants to try it. Now, the ship is basically topping at 37,000 per minute of Promethium science, which I found out that by using one inserter, insert the fighter X and the quantum chips is more than enough, while two inserters are needed to remove the Promethium science. So this is the best optimal setup you can get from 4 cryogenic plants. It's pretty close to their maximum, not very far from it actually. This nevertheless has a bit of imbalance. There is one belt that consumes more than the others. Therefore, here, after some balancing of the 4 belts in the middle, prioritizing the belts on the side, then balancing the interiors again. This brings better result overall, because due to the different consumption of the belts on the sides. Now, apart from this, I believe that this design that is more focused on finding a sweet spot, and both in terms of weight, in terms of how much Promethium science is done, etc. How many cargo bays you need for a specific, to have fine tune for a specific amount, the cargo base for a specific amount of byte eggs, which in this case is 200,000. I'm also picking 21,000 pattern processor. There's no need, 20 is enough, but I just chose to have a bit extra, so to speak. Of course, this Promethium ship needs also very good support from the planet side. On the planet side, I'm using this Biter Egg rocket launcher. It needs about 100 of these to support a 200,000 egg ship. It launches only when after you have unloaded all your Promethium science. And as you can see, it uses very fast legendary inserters to completely drain these 5 nests that are assigned for its rocket, and utilize them optimally. That's the optimal number in my opinion. If you want to send all your Biter eggs in just 2 ways. Now, on Aquilo side, I'm using a preloading of quantum chips, and you need about 14 of these. They are ready, and whenever the ship arrives at Aquilo, they immediately send the stuff. By the way, I would also like to point that for Aquilo you should also put for fusion cells, at least one rocket, to have ready fusion cells as well, to not, otherwise that will be a bit, that will give you a bit of time wasted waiting for it. And for Biter eggs you need to put I have a belt that ejects eggs that are not needed, and you need to put some heating towers at the end to burn the eggs that are ejected. Now I will show you from the planet in Aquilo. Here it is, they're all preloaded, not automatic requests. Automatic requests are not enabled. They are all preloaded, and the moment they receive a signal, they immediately send all the quantum chips. Plus, there is one preloaded with fusion power cells for the spaceship. Now, on now this side, here, as you can see, this is the ejection system that has a few heating towers to handle all the stuff that I need, all the Biter eggs that need to be burnt. And it uses about 400 rockets. This is the ideal number. You can make less, you can make more, but you really don't need more, and making less is really not optimal, in my opinion, for this specific ship. Now, with all this, I will upload, of course, the spaceship for you if you want to try it. I will be very happy to hear your opinions about it. It's a bit different than the usual. I didn't want to use exactly the same design over and over from others. And I find it both a bit boring and a bit more interesting and challenging to try something different. Also, namely, it would have been fun anyway, as you can see. Yeah, it is because it was a weird new thing that I tried with this ship, and it worked. I didn't believe initially that it would work as well as it does. I didn't believe that you can get such a large distance between the railgun turrets without an issue. And perhaps you can have even bigger than what I tried here, by the way. And yeah, it was a gamble, but when the gamble worked, it was a very, very satisfying result to see the gamble working. In practice. By the way, initially my idea was this type of ship. This type of ship gave my initial idea, but I found that it was worse because you would lose some asteroids that would hit on the sides if you were putting the asteroid collectors very not in the same plane, and I found it less efficient, and nevertheless this design led to this design, which is better in every aspect. It has double the Promethium science output than this design. Anyway, this is it. Hope you liked my science ship. I hope it gave you new ideas, perhaps to try, and something new to challenge yourselves over. Thank you, and see you until next time. Bye bye.